Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the St. Louis Council meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. All of the members present, members of council, members of staff, news media, and those joining us today in the gallery, and to those tonight joining us on Zoom. We begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are gathered on land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples since time immemorial. We would like to recognize that we are in Robinson's Superior Tree Territory, and the area in which we are gathered today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. Specifically, we acknowledge the Indian community of Wishpond First Nation, to whom we owe great respect. We also recognize the contributions of all Indigenous people, including the Métis, in shaping and strengthening the community and province of Ontario. Thank you, and Bridge. We are now to item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Hearing and COA. We move on to item number 3, approval of the agenda. Moved by Councilor Warfield, seconded by Councilor Paddle. All in favor? Carried. There are no delegations or presentations, so we move on to adoption of minutes. Report Mayor, Committee of the Whole meeting, Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. May I have someone make a motion to approve? Councilor Hoffman? Councilor Paul, seconded. All in favor? Carried. There is no business arising out of the previous meeting. There is no legal reports. So we move on to new business. Item 8.1, request to lease land for a hearing at the municipal airport. 8.1, Renee.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Dan Beach wasn't able to join us this evening, so I will speak to this matter in place of Dan. There is a couple that's approached the municipality wanting to lease some land at the airport, and they would be building a hangar on the land for use over many years, and they've started to negotiate a contract to do this. So the contract's been forwarded to Mayor and Council for your review and comment back in time for the next meeting. So the couple has submitted comments on the contract, and Maury will reach out to them upon her. So I guess we're requesting that Council read through the contract, and if they have any questions or concerns, they can forward them to myself or to Maury.
Thank you very much, Maria. Is there any questions or comments with regards to the information received? Councilor Warfield?
Is the requested, is that the same place as where Blaze has his? Is that in the same area? No?
I believe it's in the same general area, but it's land that they're leasing, and they will be building a new hangar.
Okay, I know where it is then.
Is there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I encourage council to reach out to Ryan and Mara afterwards if anything does come to mind. We'd like to thank the applicants for taking the time to reach out to the municipality and investing in the community. OP amendment, we can move on. Mr. Sabrin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. This report was to inform council that staff have recommended amendments to the official plan of zoning bylaw. The subject properties on the east side of McKinney Avenue, and the current zone commercial. And we feel that due to economics and the community itself, we have residential places in the area and they should be rezoned to show as such. So I'm asking council that we recommend these amendments and that we move forward with a public meeting. our support.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Are there any questions, comments? Kevin, I just want to thank you for bringing this report to council in a timely manner. So that this situation that decisions to me, but inform me that the lender have encountered problems with actually financing homes due to the way that our zoning bylaw was written. So I assured them that we want to make sure that we address this issue in a timely manner, and it's evident that we did, and we want to make sure that we can encourage business and growth in the community. So thank you very much, Kevin.
Thank you.
Item 8.3, Member of Provincial Parliament resignation request. I'll speak to this, or Manuel, did you want to start? Perfect. As noted on the agenda, we've received a handful of letters from local citizens that are concerned about recent behavior that our local MPP, Michael, has exhibited. We also have a number of people sitting in the gallery today, including one of the authors of the letters, Ms. Sandra Witzel, to discussion. Members of provincial parliament are expected to perform their duties in a way that promotes public confidence in the integrity of each member and maintains the dignity and respect of the office of the riding in which they serve. It is clear that Mr. Arthur's behavior does not match this description. His recent actions in the sexual harassment that he has been very guilty of, he has failed in his duty. He has brought shame upon himself, and even after finding an opportunity, even after having given an opportunity to make it right, apologize, and make it amends, he has failed in this regard. He has had the arrogance to instruct his constituents that it was time to move past this. I believe it is council's duty to be courageous and stand up to this and inspire that his behavior will not be tolerated. If we don't speak up and let him know that this is unacceptable, that the citizens of the municipality of Wawa and the Alberta Military Mine deserve better, we are condoning this behavior. We are letting him and others who would, in the future, commit similar acts, we are letting them know that this is okay, and it is not. We need to be the voice for other women, for our friends, our daughters, our sisters, our mothers, and our wives. As mayor, many people ask me what we can do. And by passing a resolution this evening to let him know that mayor and council do not condone this behavior, and we would like him to be called for his official resignation. We will join the chorus of other municipalities, the Ontario MP cause, and we will stand up and say, no, it is era of Me Too. It is our duty to do this. We are ready to move on. We need to understand. Councillor Hoffman?
I'm in favor of the resolution.
Thank you very much. Councillor Paddle?
I agree with everything you said, and I think we should do something about it. I just hope this will start the ball rolling.
Thank you. Councillor Hatfield?
I agree with what you said, Mayor. The only problem I have is I have been through cases of things like this, and it is very, very difficult to continue inside out. Now, is this going to come back on council if we go forward?
I don't believe that it will, but I believe that that law needs to be courageous. And
I understand, and I will support the resolution.
thank you very much. I want to thank all of our members of council for being courageous. We don't have a resolution prepared this evening, but a resolution will be prepared to pass on September 17th, our next regular council agenda. And we will send the resolution to all other municipalities, and they'll go into a meeting, of course, with Martha's office, and we'll also send it to Queen's Park to voice our opinion. So congratulations, Council. I know this was a hard decision, but I think it was in the button line. Councilor Walton?
You see, this is not being courageous. This is something that this guy was not allowing, and we're just telling him we don't like it. It's,
I agree. Perfect. So with that, I think that was very important, and we are ready to move on to item 8.4, draft asset management plan.
Thank you. So for over the last few months, Cindy got, and I think we've forwarded it now to Mayor and Council. So a little bit of background. I think you've heard this all of you several times in the last year and a half, 2 years. So I'm not going to read through it or repeat it, but just maybe the main line here for me is the goal of asset management is to maximize the value of municipal assets while balancing risk, performance, and cost. So those were the items that we accomplished while we did this. The Municipality of Wawa's 2024 Asset Management Plan was prepared by the Asset Management Team in accordance with Provincial Regulation 588-17. And the regulation established the content which must be included in the plan. And made sure that goes out. So that's why you have 146 pages. The AMP was divided into several chapters. They address life cycle management strategies, risk management strategies, levels of service, technical and community level of service, and as well as the Ontario regulation and our compliance with it. The latter portion of the introductory chapters identify the methodologies applied to the plan. And the body of the plan arises all assets are included in this plan. The updated plan was expanded to include not only buildings, but their components. We had, if you remember, a law firm come in and he did the condition assessments on the majority of our building, and those condition assessments are part of this plan. The sidewalks, we had Street Scan come in here a couple of years ago, and they did a scan of our sidewalks and our roads. In the original plan, sidewalks and roads were lumped together as one. Sidewalks are now on their own in this plan. Unpaved roads, we were able to accumulate data and as I already said, just the professional condition assessments on a lot of our assets. I think the result of that was our replacement costs overall have now moved from 133.8 million to the more accurate number of 226.6 million, not the news that you want to hear, but it's the challenge that we're faced with over the next several years, over the next really 50 years. We try to make a plan for 10 years with a really long range plan I had someone asked me, good job in putting together our plans, staying current with our plans. We have shovel-ready projects where we can apply in obtaining some of the grants that we get. So we can get grants both federally and provincially and stack them, and sometimes instead of percent even sometimes. So the goal is to maximize that and really use the plans that we have to leverage those opportunities and make that. In the next couple of weeks is that management have a look at the plan. If you have any questions, contact Cindy or myself. We'll be happy to walk you through any questions or concerns that you might have. Remember, this is draft, so if you notice something that you'd like to point out to us, we will not be offended. Please do so. If you think we've missed something or need to update something, or just you're curious about why the numbers are the way they are, please reach out to us. I also want to just take an opportunity here to really put a big shout out to Cindy Godson. She did a great job. A lot of communities reached out to private companies to do their plans, and Cindy did ours in-house. So it took a little bit longer, but it saved thousands of dollars for the municipality that we can put maybe to one of these projects.
Oh, awesome. Thank you very much for that. Please pass on our thanks to Cindy for the more efficient ways to do things. It's always appreciated by council. Is there any questions or comments on council? Councilor Hatfield?
Well, last year when we were talking about the budget, I distinctly remember asking you to sit down with council and go through the budget with us, because some of it is a little difficult to understand. Anybody knows that, but are we still going to be able to do that with you?
We do that every year. Councillor Hatfield, we go through the budget. We're starting to prepare it now. I'll be starting the next couple of weeks to prepare the budget. This plan will definitely speak to the budget. And we will come to council and there'll be a budget meeting. And if we need to have several budget meetings, that opportunity will be there, I'm sure.
Okay, I was under the understanding that we were going to do this, and then at the last meeting, I was totally mixed up because no, we're not going to do this and we're not going to do that. So as long as we're still going to sit down with you, so we could sit down, just a strict budget meeting, because it's going to take us 2-3 hours to go through it. Is that what you understand?
Yes, we will definitely sit down with council and present the budget. And then there will be opportunity for a review period, not only for council, but for the residents of the municipality as well.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing no other questions, we'll move to item 8.5, emergency purchase of a jet fuel pump and cabinet. Alex?
Sure. So fielding for Dan. So the Jet A fuel pump, so there's 2 fuel pumps at the airport. One of them was recently replaced, and that's the Avgas fuel pump. This is the Jet A fuel pump, which gets used significantly more than the Avgas pump at this point. So this pump has now failed. We were trying to get it to last a year or a couple more years by replacing things on it, but there's just no more parts to be found, and there's too many things wrong with it. So the Department of Infrastructure is coming to council requesting funds be allocated for a new pump in the exact same make, model, and type as the Avgas pump, so that we can have similar parts across both models.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for council with regards to this purchase?
I think we need it. No way around it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hoffman.
The only problem I have, and I'd like people to know, a $78,000 bill at this time of year is not very good, but we should have been notified of this pump going, so maybe we could have been better ready for it.
Yeah, I think in this pump's case, it was definitely on the radar to be replaced, but trying to limp it through until we could, actually budget for it just didn't quite work out this year.
Thank you very much, Alex. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, I believe that there are no objections from council, and we do see this on the regular agenda. I will be more in camera session. I do see an item on this. Laura, can you confirm that we're ready to in camera?
Yes, I have a resolution here to move into camera
Okay.
during this meeting. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please proceed.
Resolution IC 24026 resolved that the agenda for the committee of the whole in-camera meeting scheduled for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024 be approved as presented. Sorry, moved by Councillor Hoffman.
All in favor? number 10, return to open session. Item number 11, business arising from closed session, there is none. Item number 12, next meeting date. Did we have a resolution to return? Manuela?
We read that in camera. It was an in-camera resolution to come out of camera.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you very much for the clarification. Keeping me on track. Item number 12, next meeting date, 12.1, Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Item number 13, adjournment. 13.1, close the vote at 6:58 p.m. May I have somebody make a motion to approve? Councilor Hoffman? Councilor Powell seconded? All in favor? Carried. We will now move on to our second agenda. Item number 1, call to order and note the members present for the Leeward Council meeting on Tuesday, September 3rd. Item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Seeing hearing none, we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Pato, seconded by Councillor Hatfield, resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of council scheduled for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. There are no delegations or presentations. Item number 5, announcements and giving of notice. There are numerous announcements and notice listed on the agenda. Are there any announcements from council? Seeing none, I just wanted to make 2 announcements. I believe tomorrow is the first day of school, so I wanted to wish all the students in the municipality a great and safe first day of school. Always an exciting day for all the little people, all the students in London. The second announcement I wanted to make, I wanted to provide council with a further update on my trip to the Associations of Municipalities of Ontario. Just a short update, very brief update for council this evening. We participated in the annual conference on the weekend of the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. As usual, it was a fantastic conference. My hats off to all the annual folks for putting on a wonderful conference. This year was the 145th anniversary. The conference started off very great. I was lucky enough to be seated beside Brian Crowley, the leader of the Liberal Party on the plane. So that provided me with one-on-one access to discuss what his needs and interests. So that was really exciting for me. We didn't have our own delegations, but did participate in a delegation with the Northern Ontario Women's Caucus, of which I'm an executive member. It was a great delegation, which I was accompanied by many other municipalities from across Northern Ontario, including Horn Perry, Kenora, Dryden, and a number of other municipalities, Timmins, from across Northern Ontario. The value to attend all these conferences is very high for Laura. The education and the learning best practices, what other communities are doing, the educational opportunities from concurrent sessions is really, really valuable. The networking, from sitting with Brian Crombie on the plane, speaking with ministers, is really, really valuable. I did have an opportunity to speak with a company that is looking to invest in them, renewable energy. So really great conference overall. Hopefully next year, If any of the councilors are interested in attending with me, it would be a really great opportunity to get out there and increase wellness visibility on the provincial stage as we further look to increase and attract investment in our community and raise our profile. Sorry, Councillor Hopkins, did you have a question?
They're usually in Toronto or Ottawa, something like that, in 4 days.
This year it was in Ottawa.
Well, they're usually down, so far down in 4-day sessions. I always thought Ottawa would be really good to go to.
So I wanted to share that verbal update with council, but I think it was a really valuable conference and I'm really glad I was able to attend, so thank you. And with that, we'll move on to item number 6, adoption of minutes. 6.1, regular council meeting Tuesday, August 13th.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Apato. Resolved that the following minutes of the meeting of council be adopted as presented. Minutes of a regular meeting of council held on Tuesday, August 13th, 2024, as contained on pages 1 to 13, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 7, correspondence. There's a number of, a handful, I guess, of correspondence. I was listed on the correspondence. Is there anything you wanted us to pay particular attention to?
Of course. The first one is the provincial planning statement. It's the policy and direction on matters of provincial interest related to land use planning and development. It includes topics such as housing, infrastructure, natural resources, good document for all of us to read through. That's asking for niche more this Ontario, and the third said they needed to, it would be alive. I thought it was a little comical as well. The third item on the agenda worth noting is there was a study that was done related to Highway 17, 1 structure rehabilitation and 3 structure replacements. This is to rehabilitate 3 bridges and 1 culvert between Wawa and White River.
Thank you very much. Item number 8, consent agenda. 8.1, approval of the consent agenda.
Moved by Councillor Pato, seconded by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the items listed under the consent agenda 8.2 to 8.4 be approved as recommended.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 9, staff reports.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby receive the following staff reports and memos. DB memo request to lease land for new hangar at Municipal Airport, KS 2024-09, OPZBL amendment, McKinley Avenue, MB 2024-19, draft asset management plan, DB 2024-15, emergency purchase of Jet A fuel pump purchase and cabinet.
All in favor? Carried. There is no business arising in the previous meetings, so we will on to item 11, new business. 11.1, request for letter of support. Wawa Porcupine transmission line.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. Whereas the Council of the Municipality of Wawa received correspondence from Hydro One regarding support for Hydro One's proposed transmission line project, ERO notice 0199007. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby support the request for support for Hydro One's proposed transmission line project, and furthermore, that a copy of the resolution be forwarded to Hydro One, Stephanie Hodsell, and the Ministry of Energy and Electrification.
All in favor? Carried. Item 11.2, accept staff recommendation for emergency purchase of Jet A fuel pump.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Hatfield, whereas a Jet A fuel pump and cabinet at the Wawa Airport have failed, and whereas the failure represents a health and safety risk for both employees and users, therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby authorize the purchase of a Jet A fuel pump and cabinet for the Wawa Airport as described in quote number 24356 from La Joie Brothers Contracting Limited in the amount of $179,500.00 plus applicable taxes to be funded from the general capital reserves.
All in favor? Carried. Items listed under number 12, or number 13, bylaws.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Hoffman, resolved that the following bylaws be introduced and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed, and that the mayor and deputy clerk do sign and seal the same, any rule of this council to the contrary notwithstanding. Bylaw number 3737-24 to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on the 13th day of August 2024. Bylaw number 3738-24 to adopt Municipality of Wawa Policy Number AD007, Community Improvement Plan Grants in the Municipality of Wawa. Bylaw Number 3739-24 to establish a municipal transient accommodation tax for the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa.
All in favor? Carried. There are no items listed under number 14, closed session, or number 15, returned to open session, or number 16, business arising from a closed session. So we will move on to item number 17, the next meeting date, 17.1, Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. We will now move to item 18, adjourned, 18.1, close of meeting.
Resolved that the, moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Hatfield, resolved that the meeting at 7:11 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you.